everyone and welcome to our group presentation. So for this assignment, we were asked to choose an ad and to identify and describe its copywriter's pyramid, its persuasion framework, as well as its message strategy. Our team is composed of Marcella, Dariush, Yu-Yang, Alison, Mireille, as well as myself, Anaïs. We chose a Honda Civic advertisement from the 1980s, and throughout this presentation we will describe it and analyze it. But first, I'm going to start with a quick description of the business. So Honda is a Japanese multinational conglomerate known as Honda Motor. It is primarily known as a manufacturer of automobile, motorcycles, and power equipment. It was created in 1948 by Soichiro Honda in Japan. At first, they started by manufacturing motorcycles in the 1950s and then entered the automotive industry in the 1960s. Today, the brand is one of the largest manufacturers of automobiles and motorcycles around the world. Just to give you an idea, in 2019, they sold close to 21 million motorcycles and 5.3 million cars worldwide. Their sales were mostly located in Asia and in North America. Their most famous car models are the Honda Civic, Accord, Fit, CR-V, as well as models from the luxury brand Acura. In fact, in 2019, the Honda Civic and the Honda CR-V were the third and fourth most sold cars around the world. In addition, in 2019, Honda owned a 5.36% market share in the global automotive industry. They also generated close to 137 billion US in revenue. So Honda sells their vision as wanting to provide services and products that expands people's dreams and potential. And to this day, Honda continues to attract consumers around the world with a long track record of providing reliable, durable, and technology-driven products. So now I'm going to turn it over to Marcella, who's going to talk to you about the copywriter's pyramid of our ad.
Headline is one of the most important parts of a printed ad. As it is the first thing that the consumer sees when they first have the ad, it has to be something interesting and it has to drag attention for the consumer to read the whole advertisement. The headline for our ad is, when you consider what it comes with, you will be surprised at what it goes for. This headline is a provocative headline. It provokes thoughts and questions for the reader. So they are forced to read the whole thing because they don't have the answers in the headline. An ad is a stimulus. It must break through the consumer's psychology in order to reach as much people as you can. To do that, we use the AIDA strategy. AIDA stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. And it has to follow this order so that you can have success. First, you have to drag attention. And then you have to make the consumer interested, and then you have to make them feel like they are part of this thing, and then you have to provoke them so that they can take actions. In this ad, the headline is written on top of the ad, and it's in a really big size. This thing is done on purpose so that it drags attention, and the contents of the headline is it's really provoking, so the consumer starts having the interest for the product. And then we see the car. The color of the car is gold with some black parts. The gold and black is a really contrast combination, but it's really eye-catching. And the gold can also be to show us that the car is valuable. Then we go to the body part. The body part starts with the words consider, and then it's followed by the car parts and the features that this car has. So it's like inviting the consumer to start imagining if they would be the ones driving this car, if they would be the owners of this car. So now we are in the part of the desire. And then, before ending the body part, we have the words, consider one last thing. And then we have the price of the car. This one shows and provokes the people to take action, to go and buy this car. So we see that also in our ad, this was in the perfect order. They start with the headline. After that is the interest, so the contents of the headline, which shows you, the consumer, the interest to be a part of this thing and to read the whole advertising. And then we have the consider and then the explanation, so it makes you imagine. And then after that, the last part is the price. And the price, it's really good. So you think that you want to be the one buying this car.
So now, moving forward, we're going to be talking to you about the Honda Civic print ad, body copy. This body copy is a straight sell body copy. Why? Because it immediately explains and develops the headline and visual in a straightforward manner in an attempt to sell the product. This method is used by marketers around the world because it is the simplest and most effective way of marketing your product. As we saw in the previous slide, the Honda Civic advertisement, it is made clear that there are numerous benefits in owning a Honda Civic because it costs less than the competitors have to offer with the best reliability in its class. Now we're going to move on to the IDA factors. There are 4 IDA factors. As you can see here, the first IDA factor is attention. The second one is interest. Thirdly, desire. And lastly, action. Now, the way the attention is grabbed in the body copy is, I quote, consider front wheel drive. This creates awareness because any target audience is going to want to buy into a vehicle that delivers straight power to the wheels. Now, we're going to be talking to you about the second point. The second point is the interest. The interest is clearly stated here because of the specifications that are better than the competitors. So firstly, the full carpeting, door glass defrosters, steel belted radial tires, overtaking headlight flasher, power assisted self-adjusting front disc brakes. So these are the central selling points that any target audience would buy into this car because of its elaborate specifications and great value. Now, moving on to the desire. The desire here is the peppy 1342cc engine. This makes the owner desire this car because it has an engine that delivers immediate power to the wheels while keeping its reliability at its best. Now, moving on. We're going to be talking to you about the last part. The last part is the action part in the IDA factor. So this is the phrase, one final consideration, $5,399. This closes the sale because of the low price, and it's a no-brainer because you would want to pay very little for the amount of value proposition that you get from this Honda Civic hatchback. Lastly, we're going to be talking to you about the Honda logo. As you can see, this is the Honda logo. When we look at the Honda logo, we visualize its brand and all of its attributes. The logo is very important because it is a symbol attached to your brand that is meant to help identify it. Now, we're going to be talking to you about the brand attributes. The Honda logo reflects trustworthiness, reliability, durability, and confidence. Now we're going to move on to the brand strategies. So firstly, the brand strategy of brand awareness, it is a strong visual impact that the logo has on its target audience. Now, brand recognition. The brand recognition has been established for a very long time because it is simple, unique, and identifiable. Brand recall. The brand recall is demonstrated through its signature. The signature being the Civic hatchback. Now, when the 1984 Civic hatchback comes to mind, you picture a sporty driving car and an excellent interior cabin and also a top of the line fuel economy. Now, we're going to talk to you about the brand recall that is demonstrated through its signature. The signature is a clear illustration of brand recall because the audience tends to repurchase this Honda Civic because they foresee the value that is brought to you by the Honda Civic hatchback.
The message argument for this advertisement goes from talking about the front-wheel drive, rack and pinion steering, to all its great qualities inside the car as well as outside the car by showing a picture of the car itself at a very low price, which creates interest in people who are interested in buying a car. The message argument is talking about all the great qualities of the car to create desire, encouraging the prospects to picture themselves enjoying their benefits of their product or service. It goes from talking about the wheel to the windows, inside and outside, creating desire because people do imagine themselves driving it. The price is shown as followed. One final consideration, $5,399. Showing a low price that suits the public, because it's not too expensive, can really create action for the consumer. Showing a too expensive price can throw off the consumer and make him stop reading. Also, showing a price after all the qualities can be positive because the consumer might wonder, after all those qualities, what might be the price of the car? Showing a photo of the car can catch people's attention. It can break through consumers' psychological screens to create the kind of attention that leads to perception. The consumer sees the picture of the car, and it might be his dream car, and it immediately catches his attention. And now for the counter-arguments. Another person might see the same qualities that are appearing in this car and that are appearing in other cars, and it might throw off the person. People would obviously question the credibility of the poster since some things are not completely unique to this one car. The car itself might look exactly like another car from another brand than Honda. Maybe that other brand has a lower price and people are always more tempted to buy something with a lower price. If this were to happen, people would immediately lose the desire created when they saw the low price for the first time. Voluntary attention is created when the hedonic needs are satisfied. The advertisement showed a picture of the car itself, which maybe had people wondering, what does that car have? What are the qualities of the car? What is the engine like? Luckily, the details of the car itself were described at the bottom of the page, which was satisfying to the person. Those additional information created more desire towards the car since the hedonic needs of the person were greatly satisfied.
One of the best methods to improve brand is persuasion, which is the main process for marketing communication. Convincing camel and funny sentence could link the product to the consumer's mind. Enhancing curiosity about a brand can be enhanced by the use of intense stimulate that raise the possibility of attracting the consumer. Moreover, using mutation is useful for appealing consumer attention to the product. Most of the time, Honda company use many types of marketing to attract the consumer, such as thrill by surprising the viewers. Honda public relation activity is granting donation for many programs, such as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education. Honda company did this type of activities to attract parents of these children and to contribute in developing the bright mind of young children in order to solve tomorrow's challenges. In this situation, the parents are encouraged to try the product of this company and discover their advantages and disadvantages. Another activity in Honda companies is the aid from its worker and their exertion for the society. For example, carrying out an environment activity such as cleaning and preserving natural areas all over the North America. One of the organizations that Honda company support is called PALS, which is People United Against a Litter State. And the function of this company is to employ the garbage collection for all Albania country. So doing this type of activity will attract people that are interested in preserving nature. As a result, Honda Corporation helped the community and improve its reputation in the society at the same time. The company logo has a huge impact on the consumer. So the original color of the Honda company logo is red, black, and silver only. Honda company used the same corporate Honda logo as American Honda, but the auto logo is different. Honda Automobile in America adapt the blue color for the logo under the slogan Blue Sky for Our Children. To clarify, the color has a huge impact for the human emotion, so this change is very appropriate to the culture for a large number of American society who support the preservation of the environment to keep it clean. In my opinion, the Honda company made this change in color to make the American culture buy the car to participate in preserving the environment. Thus, Honda company was really smart in choosing the appropriate idea in American society.
So, the first objective of this advertising is link key attributes to the brand name. The method used for this message appeal is unique selling proposition. The USP method emphasizes special quality or qualities of a brand. In this advertising, we can see the headline. Its sentence immediately conveys the unique value of this Honda hatchback. Also, the body copy of this advertising is all the attributes and features of this Honda hatchback. And the pros of this method is that it's very resistant. If you can strongly link one attribute with one brand, it is incredibly resistant to competitive advantage. Being the first to claim an attribute can be a huge advantage. However, the cons of this method is competitive interference. Many other car brands may try to associate the same attributes as Honda with their brands. If the attributes of every car company were the same, it will be very confusing for consumers and affect the brands negatively. The second objective is persuade the consumer. In the body copy, the advertisement introduces all aspects of this Honda hatchback and gives a final price. Therefore, in a sense, it's a reason why advertisement. All this describes in the body copy can be reasons to persuade consumers to buy this product. This is also the advantage of this reason why advertisements give consumers reason to buy. But it could also generate considerable counter-arguments. Finally, in order to define the brand image, Honda puts its product at the center of this advertisement. It is also the most eye-catching part of this ad. The color of the hatchback is very conspicuous and can catch consumers' eyes. Actually, it is an advertisement from 1985. At that time, the appearance and color of the hatchback were very fashionable. So when consumers saw this ad, they would probably attracted by the image first, and then they would go on to know more. The image advertisement can cause enduring memories to consumers. But the cons of this advertisement method is it can be very common. If the brand doesn't have a special image, it is hard for consumers to remember the brand or the product.
So in conclusion, we believe that this Honda advertisement was really good because its copywriter's pyramid was really well laid out, its persuasion framework was well established, and its message strategies were effective. So thank you everyone for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Thank you!